Good morning and welcome to our Thursday press conference. This week's focus is on initiatives underway in our Department of Planning and Neighborhood Resources and giving an update on the American Rescue Plan, or ARP, funding that we received. We will first introduce a new preservation planner, Chris Rinder. Second, we'll introduce our new ARP project manager, Jackie Spry. Third, we'll announce our newly designated ARP finance lead, who is Lisa Gummersall. Fourth, we'll present the Redevelopment Authority's ARP proposal. And fifth, we'll talk about Halloween, which is celebrated here in Erie this Sunday, October 31st, from 6 to 8 p.m. Today, we're happy to announce a new position within our Department of Planning and Neighborhood Resources. Chris Ginder has been hired to serve as the city's first preservation planner. Thanks to the hard work and vision of City Planner Kathy Wyrosdick and the hard work of our Historic Preservation Task Force, the city was awarded Certified Local Government, or CLG, status, as well as a grant to bring a preservation planner on board. Kathy, who is our Director of Planning and Neighborhood Resources, will introduce Chris and talk about what he will be working on. Kathy?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. This is an exciting day. I tend to say that a lot when I come up to this podium, but it really is the progress that we're seeing in Erie. It's a pleasure to be part of, and this is certainly one of those steps in that progress. 2.5 years ago, the mayor and the city council took the leap of faith and appointed a historic preservation task force, 7 members who were charged solely with determining what the city's role in preservation should be. And it could have been the city does not have a role, all the way to the city really needs to step up its game in preservation. The task force quickly came to the conclusion that the city has a number of historic resources that would help drive economic redevelopment in the city and needed to be preserved in many different ways. The city council agreed with that, and the task force laid out a plan on how best to position the city for success in preservation. That plan included, as the mayor mentioned, the first step is to become a certified local government, which then gave us an opportunity to go after funding just earmarked for CLG communities. We were able to do that, as well as receive a CLG grant. In addition, we were also able to receive an historic preservation grant. So in a very short amount of time, the city has created a historic review commission, has created an overlay district to help with preservation efforts. They've been designated as CLG and have already received 2 grants. So all of that's happened in 2.5 years, and it is astounding the work that the task force and now the Historic Review Commission has put on their plate and been able to do in a very short amount of time. The final piece of that puzzle was to actually hire someone dedicated to doing all of the work that's going to be laid out in the next few years. And we're happy to announce that someone took a chance on Erie, and that his name is Chris Ginder. He hails from Tennessee, so we are pleased to welcome him and his family to Erie. Chris has been inundated with the onslaught of work that is ahead of him in the short time that he's been here, but he's up to the task, and it's my pleasure to introduce him to the podium today.
Thank you, Mayor and Kathy. I am honored and excited to have been chosen as Erie's very first historic preservation planner. At its core, historic preservation is about helping neighborhoods and communities reconnect to a sense of place through the built environment. I look forward to helping the Historic Review Commission create a historic preservation program that strengthens that sense of place in Erie's neighborhoods. In my first week, I've already had the opportunity to have meaningful conversations about what historic preservation can look like in Erie. Among our first steps will be to develop a historic preservation plan for the city of Erie, which includes engaging with neighborhood groups and residents to determine how historic preservation can positively impact where they live, work, and play. Part of my responsibilities is also to oversee CLG and Keystone grant funding that is helping us to develop these plans. I will also be working to seek out additional grant funding to help put those plans into action. Erie has great potential to use historic preservation to create an equitable and sustainable future, and I look forward to helping with that process. Thank you.
Thanks to both of you, Kathy and Chris. This is really an exciting time for our city, Chris. I'm real happy to have you on the team and already enjoy seeing the work that you do. Thank you for choosing to move to Erie with your family and for caring so deeply about historic preservation. We have a lot of beautiful architecture here in Erie. It's part of what defines Erie and makes our community very unique. We need to do all we can to preserve it. In addition to Chris, I'm pleased to announce the appointment of our new ARP project manager, Jackie Spry. Jackie is responsible for making sure we comply with the American Rescue Plan eligibility requirements and reporting. We're very glad to have Jackie Spry join the city team. Jackie will now tell us more about her work in ARP compliance. Jackie?
Good morning, and thank you, Mayor. I can't tell you how excited and honored I am to be part of this transformational opportunity. And I assure you that I will be available and accountable throughout this major undertaking. My responsibility as the ARP, or American Rescue Plan Program Manager, is to ensure that the city closely follows the strict reporting guidelines of the federal government. Part of my job is to manage all project timelines as well as ensure that those who receive ARP grants comply with federal rules. Last week, we had our first ARP Council of Advisor meetings. This is a very diverse group of representatives from the mayor's advisory councils, from city council, and from other interested community members. Part of my job is to lead and communicate this council regularly to ensure that the program decisions are fairly impacting our hardest hit communities, those that were disadvantaged even before the onset of the pandemic. Each decision making is going to be looked at through the lens of diversity, equity, and inclusion. My responsibility also includes reporting back to City Council and the public on the progress of all the projects and programs. We are committed to keeping the public informed and engaged. We are in the midst of developing an online platform where information will be shared and everyone's voice will be heard. This platform will be available in many different languages so that we'll be able to reach all of our communities in Erie. Thank you very much for allowing me to introduce myself today, and please feel free to contact me with any questions. Thanks.
And thank you very much, Jackie. You certainly have much work ahead of you, but I know you are up to the task. Thank you for your commitment to transforming Erie. To make sure that we do not pay back any of the $76 million of ARP funds that we are receiving, we have to be sure that we use our ARP funds according to the rules that exist. For that, we need the support and guidance of a municipal finance professional. Today, I'm very pleased to announce that our Assistant Director of Finance, Lisa Gummersall, has taken on the role of making sure that we use our ARP funds properly. Lisa will work with Jackie to make sure that 100% of Erie's ARP funds are used properly to transform Erie over the next 5 years. We also must do regular reporting on the use of ARP funds. Lisa will handle this reporting as well. I'm confident that with Lisa in charge, we will follow the ARP rules to the letter. My team and I are working closely with City Council to deploy ARP funds in the best possible way. We are committed to improving the lives of minorities who were impacted by COVID-19 at 2 to 3 times the rate of white residents, to reversing the many negative economic impacts of COVID. We're also committed to replacing lost city revenue and reducing the need for increases in property and real estate taxes in the future. Finally, to improving the City of Erie's infrastructure. That's an important part of this as well. So far, City Council has approved spending $7.8 million of the ARP money, and that money is being spent as follows. $1 million will be used at the Joyce Savacchio Opportunity Park to help create that. $750,000 will be used for the demolition and remediation of Quinn T. $1,250,000 will be used for the demolition and remediation of Erie Malleable Iron over at 12th and Sherry. And $100,000 will be used for administrative Erie County Redevelopment Authority. Finally, repairs to our storm sewer infrastructure, which is in terrible shape. We've declared $4.5 million to be used there. So that's a total of $7.6 million that City Council has approved spending so far. Our next step is spending ARP funds for housing programs and initiatives in the partnership with the Erie Redevelopment Authority of the City of Erie. City Council has had a study session back on October 5th at which the City Planning Director, Kathy Wyrosdick, and the Executive Director of our Redevelopment Authority, Aaron Snippert, presented the proposal. We have asked City Council to vote on this at their November 3rd meeting. Aaron Snippert will now present to you the Redevelopment Authority's comprehensive housing plan, which will advance our vision that all Erie neighborhoods are welcoming and vibrant. Aaron.
Thank you, Mayor. Over the past several months, the Redevelopment Authority has been working to put together a housing plan that will best fit the needs of the Erie community. This housing plan includes 8 distinct housing initiatives that we feel will ensure that neighborhoods are welcoming and vibrant for years to come. This plan is a combination of hours of planning, working alongside the city's neighborhood groups, residents, and homeowners. The outcomes identified in this plan are based on real-world data collected by the city's planning department. The proposed programs are thoroughly judicious and are the right and prudent course of action for the city to take in order to move the needle in revitalizing efforts within our neighborhoods. The 8 initiatives included within this plan are as follows: blight acquisition and disposition. We will continue to work with the City of Erie Code Enforcement to identify blighted, vacant properties within Erie neighborhoods. The properties will be acquired and remediated either through demolition or developers' agreements. New production, Redevelopment Authority will work to leverage these funds with other sources in an effort to bring development and new production to areas of the city that will be in a form of either new single-family, multifamily residential rehabilitation of existing housing into a productive reuse. The third program, rental investment. This program is driven by the need for quality housing within the city of Erie. This program will focus on loans to individuals or landlords to make repairs to rental properties. The fourth initiative, Housing Rehabilitation Loan Program. This program will provide low-interest or forgivable loans to city residents to make needed repairs to their properties. Many residents defer maintaining their homes due to the high cost of items such as a roof, windows, mechanical systems. The fifth program is a small and minority contractor loan program. Many of these programs will require contractors to perform the work. This program will provide assistance and loans to small and minority contractors to help get their businesses off the ground. We will work with community partners to identify and assist individuals running or trying to start a contracting business. The sixth program is a Healthy Homes Grant Program. This program is focused on addressing health-related issues within the home. With many people spending more time in their homes, issues such as lead, mold, excessive cold play a bigger part in their health. Grants will be provided to address these issues affecting the residents. The seventh is a Home Ownership Initiative Grant. Funding under this program will provide low-interest loans or forgivable loans to eliminate private mortgage insurance for individuals purchasing homes within the city. The eighth program is Housing and Small Business Preservation Grant. This program will provide homeowners whose houses reside in city-designated preservation areas. The goal of this program is to preserve the historic value of housing while providing funding to make needed repairs. The goal of these initiatives is to improve outcomes for our neighborhoods. These programs will help rid the neighborhoods of blight while providing additional resources to residents to improve their homes. Additionally, we will work to provide resources for new home ownership investment into the city's rental stock and development of new housing within the city of Erie. If approved, over the next several months, we will begin accepting applications to deploy these funds. For more information on these programs, please visit redeveloperie.org or contact the Redevelopment Authority at 814-870-1540. Thank you. A little over 15,085,000.
Thank you, Aaron. The work you and your team is truly transformational, and the total dollar amount is just a little over $15 million that will go into all the work that Aaron just described to you. Over the past 3 years and 10 months, we have collected a lot of feedback from residents about their neighborhoods. That input has informed neighborhood plans for several of our East Side communities, including the East Bayfront and the Academy Barvintown neighborhood. We are currently working in the Fairmont-McClelland area. What we have looked at is the funding needed to implement those plans. That's the one thing we've lacked. Funding this proposal would enable you to move forward on a meaningful projects and programs to improve the quality of life of our Erie area residents. It would also promote home ownership within the city, which would expand the tax base and revitalize our neighborhoods. We really look forward to working together on these exciting initiatives and hope that City Council will approve this use of ARP funding at their November 3rd meeting. Finally today, I want to remind everyone that Halloween will be celebrated this Sunday, October 31st. Trick-or-treating in the city of Erie will take place between 6 and 8 p.m. We encourage everyone to enjoy trick-or-treating, but be sure to stay safe within our Erie neighborhoods. Halloween is a great tradition. I enjoyed it when I was a kid, and even more as a parent taking my kids around. Even though my children are now in their mid-30s, my wife Rhonda and I really still enjoy giving out our trick-or-treats to kids that come to our doors every Halloween. Here are some important steps that kids should take to stay safe this Halloween. First, trick-or-treat with an adult or a friend if you're a teenager. Only visit well-lit homes with a porch light on. Walk on the sidewalk and look out for cars whenever you're crossing a street. Be careful about that. Have an adult inspect candy and make sure it's safe before you eat any of what you collect. We also want to remind everyone that COVID-19 is still a major concern in Erie. So because of that, please stay home if you feel sick, and do not hand out candy if you feel sick. Wear a face mask covering that covers your mouth and nose if you are with other people. Carry and use hand sanitizer to keep your hands clean. And wash your hands before eating any candy. Maintain a safe distance from others as you trick or treat. If you do not want to participate in trick or treat, simply do not turn your porch light on, leave it off. Finally, on Halloween, which is again Sunday, October 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. in the city, the Erie Police will encourage motorists to slow down, decrease your speed, and watch for children and families as you're driving around. We want everyone to enjoy Halloween in a safe and responsible way. Please do not spread or contract COVID-19 on Halloween. Do all you can to avoid that. And that concludes this week's press conference. Until next Thursday, please follow us on social media for the latest updates on everything that's happening in the city. Everyone who spoke today is now available for interviews, and thanks everyone for watching, and thanks for being here. Thank you.